echelon energies. So you may ask, what decks do we have on our roster for today? What's the deck lineup? The loot lineup? Well, let me show you. We have 3 decks on call for today. 2 Oracle, 1 Tarot. We have the Imperial Dragon Oracle deck. We have Tarot of the Cat People. And finally, last but not least, we have Oracle of the Hidden Worlds. So these are the 3 decks that we will be using. Let us begin with something from the Hidden Worlds. And you know what? I may even read some of the prompts for the cards today. And the Hidden World is the Hidden Worlds. Changing consciousness, awareness, extrasensory perception. So our hidden world is the Hidden Worlds. How meta. How meta indeed. Look at this beautiful divine angel. This is a guide for you, a being of light that is guiding you at this time. Let us read the description for this card. By the way, the artist for these cards is Gilbert Williams. He is one of my favorite visionary artists. And he has done some work that I have incorporated in one of my music videos. That is the Ode to the Hathors, a very high vibrational blue people, blue giants of an ethereal world. So you may gaze at this card as I read the description. 38. The Hidden Worlds, Changing Consciousness, Awareness, Extrasensory Perception. From the center of this night flower emerges a fairy, fully born upon this planet. The fairy gazes into the night sky, perhaps longing for a moment, for the last lifetimes, the home world from where they came. This is the lesson of this being and this card, that we distinguish too much, we humans, and we fail to see what is plainly there before us. We cannot see that within each flower lies a universe, and that the fairy is indivisible from the flower. We cannot see that when we separate all into categories that seek to understand, we eventually fail and succeed only in dividing and separating until we lose the mystery we too were born into. We share the same cellular makeup as the flower, as the fairy. We are more alike than we are unlike, and we have lost most of our sight as it lies slumbering in the sleeping DNA within us. But when we walk under the stars, and when we gaze at the flowers, and when we see, with the vision of the night, of the other world that emerges when the sun's light is no more, we can truly see. So too, while we are delighting in our senses, we are also imprisoned by their limitations, and we miss the other realities all about us, claiming all the while that what we can perceive with our five senses is the reality of the world, but it is not. So step beyond, dear friend. Know that cherishing life will lead to us seeing more. When we meditate, communicate, soften the gaze and open up, something within us will awaken, and for that fleeting moment in a vision, or under the different light of a friendly star, we will see the fairy, we will hear the voices of the ancestors, we will sense what we were previously unable to perceive. Those hidden worlds lie within us, in the codes that are awakening, in the birth of your own senses, in the ability to finally see through the veils and know you, too, are a part of the hidden worlds. Illumination. When I move into the worlds beyond my senses, I can truly begin to know the infinite possibilities of what we call reality. I expand my consciousness, and the hidden worlds within me and around me will open up, and I will be a part of the reawakening of the planet. Powerful message, to be sure. Next, let us draw from the Imperial Dragon Oracle, which we will also read from once we draw our card. I'm quite fond of the readings that these high vibration decks give. We get the Lunar Dragon. Crystal is all about us. This is truly ancient magic. That appears to be a sphinx there. These are pylons. Potentially Egyptian. Clearly esoteric and enigmatic. A regal and beautiful blue dragon. Sapphire and vivid let us read of this dragon. Feast your eyes on the card as we delve into the immaculate description. The traditional name for this dragon is the moon. Lunar, of course, means moon. The energy is the shadow self. The key word meaning is illusion. The commentary. The lunar dragon controls the ebb and flow of energies from the tides of the sea to the emotions of humankind. It challenges us to see our inner darkness and fears, to face them honestly and learn from them. So often we limit ourselves by looking only at one side of things rather than seeing the whole picture. There can be no yin without yang, no day without night, and one always leads inevitably towards the other. Indeed, this is the power of the lunar dragon. The meaning for this card. Drawing the lunar dragon challenges us to look deeply within ourselves and understand the true nature of our divinity. We hold within us the energies of good and bad, light and dark. If we try to ignore the darkness, we fall prey to illusion, deception, dishonesty, and foolishness. However, if we can see ourselves honestly, we gain discernment and the ability to break all illusions. The reversed meaning. This card's reversed meaning is much the same, although the potential for illusions and lies is of a more trivial nature. Mistakes may make life uncomfortable, and trifling emotions may cloud your judgment. Obstacles, although minor and easily overcome, can be rather irritating, but remember, the tides of life always ebb and flow. So far, this is quite interesting. The energy of this card, in my personal humble opinion, is of a higher vibration than the energy of this card. This card is maintaining a dualistic perspective, that there is a light and a dark. Meanwhile, this card is breaking all boundaries, going beyond the senses, beyond duality even, and finding the hidden worlds that exist beyond your current atmosphere of perception. So I see this card as a more widened perspective of this card. This card tells us to see more, to see what we're not seeing, as if the only other thing to see is the other side of the coin, so to speak. Meanwhile, this card says there is no coin to see the other side of. For in order to see the other side, we must forget the coin altogether. Now, let us explore the tarot of the cat people. King of Swords. A master of the mind we are. Let us read the description of this card. Particularly drawn, by the way, to the purple sword this individual is holding. They are very regally dressed, and additionally, I am drawn to this Black Panther that is their familiar, shall we say. Panther is a deep, deep protector of deep secrets and deep worlds. It's a deep healer of deep secrets. It drives deep like Scorpio, and this is also similar to the knife or the sword that the King of Swords possesses. Here is the description. The King of Swords is dressed austerely, but elegantly, symbolic of a practical, business-like, and commanding personality in a position of authority. His sword is upraised and unsheathed to symbolize the power of command. One hand is outstretched in a gesture of persuasion, backed by force to force of personality and of the sword. The King and Queen of Swords are accompanied by black panthers. Because of its coloring, ferocity, and secretive bahids, the Black Panther seems more sinister than any other cat, as the sword is an elegant, if deadly weapon. It seems only fitting that its bearers be accompanied by a cat of the shadows. Divinatory meanings. An active and determined person. Experience. Authority. Control. A professional person. Someone proficient in his field. Highly analytical person. Superiority. A person having many ideas, thoughts, and designs. Reverse meaning. A person who may pursue a matter to ruin, cruelty, conflict, selfishness, sadism, a dangerous or wicked person, one who causes unnecessary disturbance and sadness, perversity. How intriguing. So I see you as almost a double-edged sword in your qualities. You are the dreamer. You have access to the infinite worlds, many of which are calling your name as well, wishing to protect you and guide you. These are heavenly realms, celestial realms, magical realms, filled with mythical and ancient creatures. And meanwhile, you have an active mind and an active imagination. You may be prone to desiring control and find yourself in your waking normal life, you may feel as though your mind gets the best of you and causes irritation, annoyance, and a feeling of unease. So this is quite interesting. We can pull from the knowledge of this card to see the double-sidedness of your situation. I did not mean to denigrate this card. This card has great wisdom, of course. It has great wisdom within it. I just mean to point out that this card is drawing us towards the infinite, while this card is still attached to the dualistic nature of things. Neither is better or worse than the other. And so, you, my friend, also have a dualistic nature. But do not fret. This is simply your nature, and it is not something that you should be worried about, because your dream world is going to become a reality. It's going to merge with your material, earthly, grounded world, and when this occurs, all strife will be fizzled away as if it never even existed, and your dreams will be a reality, my dear friend. Thank you for listening to this reading, and I hope that you enjoyed. Peace.